Hey, it's Adriel, the hunting gear guy. I've got two submissions here for 303 Canadiana's Mosin Nagant Accuracy Challenge. This isn't really my best showing, but I wanted to get a couple of targets in. A, because I haven't really even shot this rifle yet, and B, because I just wanted to see how I could do rapid fire, just prone. This one was my first outing. And I've got about a 5-inch group, and it's mostly these two guys over here that are causing that for me. Just kind of rip that one out. And again, it's getting a little bit big. When I took this thing out, basically what I did was just fire about 15 shells just to kind of see where I was hitting, and then I properly set up for prone and started shooting. I was hoping the time in between would let the barrel cool a little bit, but it didn't really cool off all that much. The forend was still really hot. And so I'm scared that some of my vertical dispersion, especially on this target, was just because I let that barrel heat up after too much shooting, because by the time I was on this group here, it was 15, 25, after 25 rounds, within about a half hour, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but or sounds like a lot of time, but it actually isn't when you're talking about letting a barrel cool down, especially one that's sleeved like the Mosin. With this one, I think my best group was, yeah, about 4.5, and that's just getting a lot of vertical here. So maybe on a future outing when I go to the range instead of just on my parents' farm, what I'm going to do is bench this thing and kind of see what kind of accuracy I'm getting. This was with Bulgarian surplus ammo, just the stuff that's coming in crates right now. I think mine was from the 80s somewhere, so not really match ammo at the same time, but yeah, you know, I think this is showing a little bit of promise. And just kind of as a bonus, is a little bit of thing that I wanted to show as well, and that's this Cabela's rifle bag, because I've actually used this thing a couple of times and I'm starting to really get some good use out of it. It's got a nice big pocket here, and I've been using, there's my cat in there, I've been using this for the stapler, so I can throw my stapler in here, targets inside, some ammo in the zip pocket up here, and I can pretty much be ready for an outing all in one bag, which is kind of cool. It's also got some mag pouches over to the side here. There's two, and those are just on MOLLE webbing, so if you want to, you can pull these off, and I might use those on, you know, backpacks or whatever else I get that's kind of MOLLE in the future. And here's the amazing thing that I find: it fits a Mosin perfectly. And this is a long rifle. There's a lot of gun safes that won't fit in here, and you can see there that it fits nice and snug front to back. There's not a lot of movement that you can do back to front with it, but it fits it perfectly, and hey, I can't really complain about that. One thing I wanted to mention was just in regards to the bayonet. When the bayonet was off, this thing was hitting quite high at 100 yards. I think I was hitting around 6 to 10 inches high. With the bayonet at 100 yards, I was hitting about 2 inches low. So, and you can see that from the targets there, just right around 2 inches low, depending if it was hot or cold or whatever the case might be. So, putting the bayonet on a Mosin does make a really big difference. Now I'm going to get to cleaning this thing, and that's about it. So there you go. That's my entry to the 303 Canadiana Mosin Accuracy Challenge. I just wanted to mention just a couple things before I end off the video. One, I ended up using that bag you see. It's kind of like a shooting mat, and I use it for that quite often. The other thing is that just to keep the steel butt plate on the Mosin from taking a big chunk out of my shoulder every time I fired, I ended up kind of curling it around the butt so that it took a little bit of the sting out. It is padded, so it's pretty good for that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks to 303 Canadiana for setting up this contest.